McMillions. This is a 6-parter. It aired on HBO earlier in the year, and it tells the story of a 2001 investigation by the FBI in Jacksonville, Florida, when somebody tips them off to the fact that the McDonald's Monopoly game winners, who can win $1 million each, are all related. This sends FBI new recruit Doug Matthews, who should be in every documentary I ever watch from now on, into a frenzy trying to get together and work out how this could happen, how McDonald's could have been infiltrated, and he decides, along with other members of the FBI, to go undercover and start meeting the winners and catch them out when they find out that a mysterious figure named Uncle Jerry is at the top of all of this. And it's about the story of who he is and how he fits into the story. So I have to put my cards on the table. You can't see them. There's no webcam.
Or your Monopoly play cards.
All my Monopoly pieces on the table, and say I already love this show. My family and I watched all of it when it was on earlier in the year. It was a proper delight, and it's one of my shows of the year. I don't think I've laughed as consistently at a documentary as I have at this for a long time. This was far funnier than Space Force, and Space Force should have been funnier. What did you make of it?
I've only watched the first episode at the moment. I'm definitely going to go back to it. I watched it yesterday afternoon, and I don't think I might have been in the mood for it. I kept having to. I think my concentration was waning a little bit, and that's nothing about the program. It was more the mood I was in.
Yeah.
So I kept having to go back a little bit. So I missed. I liked the general tone of it. I think this, obviously, the first episode is an establishing episode. So
yeah, and
you've obviously got a different impression than I've got. But I was very intrigued by the end of it. From how you described it to me, I thought it was about how McDonald's had rigged the game.
No.
Rather than it was about a select group of people who were
all related
and had like an inside track. And it was, I was gripped by the story. The guy up who wins the $1 million, they set him up by pretending to be a documentary crew.
So they get the McDonald's head of PR, who does as her everyday job speak to the winners and meet them, and they get her involved, and they say, we'd like to put together a fictional production company. We'll call it Shamrock Productions, because you're just lucky. And we'll go and speak to the winners and have them film their stories of how they came across the winning Monopoly piece, and then we'll have it all on camera, and we can tear apart their stories. And the first winner they go to, they've got him on camera, and he sort of walks them through how he found the piece in a People magazine, but his story keeps wavering a little bit every time he tells it, and then some guy runs off with the big check.
Some kid, isn't it? Because they go to, he says he was on the beach, so they go to the beach with the check. And then is it Matthews running after him?
Yeah.
And at the end they introduce the character of Uncle Jerry, and that's how
because they're also doing a wiretap. So that Mark guy, who's one of the first people they meet and speak to, then gets on the phone and said they bought it. They think I'm going to buy this boat called the Rotten Scoundrel or something, and they bought it hook, line and sinker, and they're all laughing, and they're listening on the wiretap, and Uncle Jerry's name keeps coming up. But I tell you what it is for me, I'm a sucker for these documentaries, but this one, it stands out a bit more, because often the subject matter of documentaries like this that have been hits before are quite dark, and you have to be, like you said earlier, in the right mood, and this one is like a heist film. It's told very tongue-in-cheek. So there's a bit where, because this Doug Matthews is just such a hotshot, he gets so bored in meetings, so he turns up to the one with McDonald's wearing a gold suit.
Oh yeah, it's dressed up as a fry, he says.
Yeah.
As you say, it has got a sense of humour about it, which I think you find, as someone who's just watched the first episode, I think after you get like the information dump, which is a necessary evil in these, things. I think, as you say, Matthews is very an enthusiastic
Yeah.
central figure who has just joined the FBI in
And he's
Jacksonville.
chomping at the bit to do
Is
something.
really bored with all
Yeah.
the. Is it like medical malpractice suits?
It's like, yeah, it's like white collar crime and bank
Yeah.
fraud and all.
But he saw something written down that was about McDonald's, and he was like,
Yeah.
right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
this is this is for me.
I mean, you are very enthusiastic about it, and
Yeah.
I know a lot of other critics have been as well.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna. It might be this week. I might do
You
like
are
an
not going to
episode
believe.
tonight.
All I will say, like, I know we spoke about Tiger King and stuff. This is another one where you will. It doesn't ever lose its sense of fun, I would say, but it's another one where you just will not believe where this ends up.
Again,
where it
Florida.
goes. I know Florida's a mad place, isn't it? But I tell you what, these stories are so grand and massive and unpredictable and twisty-turny. It's amazing they've not been told before in a film or in a TV show. I loved all the music. I thought the music was really cool, sort of the heist sort of feel to it. And also, one of my documentary bugbears is often reenactments because I think they're unnecessary and sloppy.
Yeah. A little bit.
After a while, they're not as clunky as you imagine, and they don't overuse them because as it goes on, they have more and more footage of the real people that were involved.
Yeah.
And I really liked the young girl from McDonald's who sort of tells them what a director would look like. Because Doug says he'll be a director because they don't do anything. He just has to look like he's come off the golf course. and she just is really nervous because she's a civilian working into the FBI. It's just got a lovely warmth to it. It's such an easy watch, and it's one of my shows of the year. McMillions on Sky Documentaries and Now TV. All 6 episodes are there, and I think once you start, it's not a McDonald's slogan, but you won't be able to stop. And I remember that Monopoly game launching and all the adverts, all the creepy McDonald's and new adverts.
And I do like how they explained as well the promotion, the marketing of it. And I know obviously this plays into that was the reveal at the end, but the marketing of even it was the same person who came up with the same company who came up with the Happy Meal, and they explained the design. So even it goes into some of the things about McDonald's and the mythos and the way they promote things and operate. So
and there's like a proper wiretap, which I'd never really seen done properly outside of the Wire.
And he felt like a character on the Wire. That guy is like, I just joined and they put me on wiretaps.
Yeah, I liked it. I like it a lot. And actually, I rewatched it so that I could remember where this one ended and what they said. And I just enjoyed it just the same. I saw it earlier this year.